Thank you. Thanks as always for making it this far into the video. The rules are as always that you can sort of skip this part if you've seen enough. You saw the car under the good light and you saw it out in the wasteland also. If you do choose to stick around, then grab yourself a coffee. It might be a long one. I got a good bit to talk about. I got it written down. So the Typhon, yeah. Well, a lot of people say typhoon. That's wind over in the South China Sea. So that's not exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Greek monster, the Typhon. The monsters, they were fighting each other in Greek mythology, and the gods were fighting against the monsters, and eventually the monsters made the monster of all monsters, and that was the Typhon, the badass, the one that was eventually very close to beating Zeus himself. The story goes that they were battling for 10,000 years, and eventually Typhon actually beats Zeus. And Typhon is an evil bastard, you know. So he didn't finish Zeus off. He locked him up and tortured him and cut out his tendons, and Zeus was lying there in a cave and being eventually somebody rescued him. He got back, attacked Typhon, and Typhon got locked up underneath Mount Etna in Sicily, on the island in the Mediterranean Sea. So yeah, Typhon is not dead. Typhon exists. He's locked underneath a volcano. Typhon during these 10,000 years, Typhon wasn't all badass. He was also a father. He was a father of the Gorgons, you know, the three rear-wheel drive monster trucks. So yeah. Anyway, about the Buggy. So it's 8 scale, and I have got myself a little bit of a thing for the 8 scale Buggies. They're 4-wheel drive usually. They're based on probably they were usually based on the Nitro Buggies, but these are electric, and it's just easier that way. It is a cool Buggy, and I gotta say that this one is awesome. The Typhon is awesome, but it wasn't always like that. When I got it, I put a few photos earlier, I'll put them again now. When I got it, it had quality issues. One of them was very visual, and was that the stickers were just so poorly applied. It was like someone in the factory had just sat there and just put the stickers on. Plus the stickers were really shiny, and the finish of the paint job is matte. So it didn't go. I had to take them all off and do something else instead. The quality issues didn't stop there. The radio didn't really work very well, and that's why I have a third-party radio on it. And by the time, you know, I had sort of investigated, are they really that bad? The Arrma radios, the Spectrum radios, and I heard that they were bad. Okay, so I replace it, and by the time I take the lid off, I find that the lid had actually squeezed the receiver. I don't have the receiver, sorry. Had actually squeezed the wire, the antenna wire of the receiver, and it just broke completely when I took it off, and that was of course why it had reception issues, which was a bummer. You know, you get a new car that you consider to be a quality product, and then you get something like that. That's a bummer. Another bummer was the differentials. The differentials, I don't think there was a problem with them, but the mesh between the pinion and the spur gear was so tight. When I was driving the car and I let off the throttle, it was like it had a drag brake, and it would come to a very abrupt stop. And that's how you sort of, it's very heavy, it actually, yeah. So then I needed to adjust that also. So yeah, it wasn't a cheap Buggy. I got it marked down quite a lot actually, but quality issues, come on. They all have quality issues, but this, anyway, yeah, the tires, speaking about the tires, they're actually quite nice, but as you can see, they're pretty much finished, and I had it out. I think I had it out 6 times, and I think that has to do with me just driving like an idiot. I have to face the fact that I don't drive very well, but at least I have fun, and that's the main thing. So the thing that I did already by the time when I got the Buggy was that I've heard about something that you can do, can do, not should, but there's something called truckified. You truckify the Buggy, and especially for the Typhon, that's quite popular. Often that will involve just changing the components and making it wider also in the steering components and the hubs and everything. But you can also do something a little bit less radical, and you can just put the bigger wheels on it. That gives a little bit more wider stance. I haven't tried it yet, but I would like to. Plus it gives it these big balloony things on it, which will be cool in the first place. It might help on the jumps. The other thing it's going to help on is when I'm out in the wasteland and there's that rocky, very nasty rocky area. That might actually help on that. So yeah, I was lucky to be out. It was a proper couple of summer days right after each other. One of the days I was out with this, it was I had 16 or 17 degrees and high sun and everything was good. It didn't stay like that. The winter came back, and it's really back with a vengeance. So I have a few nasty days ahead of me, and I went and did something completely different. Completely different from the Typhon, definitely, at least. This is the Grasshopper, the Tamiya Grasshopper. It's the candy green edition. I'm not gonna open it here on front of the camera and stuff, but it is beautiful. It is like that satin neon green, candy green, whatever it's called. Wow, yeah. It's almost a shame that I'm gonna paint it. Has to happen. Has to be done. Has to be done. My plan with this Grasshopper is I actually came to the realization I'm not gonna get the BBX, the Tamiya BBX. Not right now, at least. I had bought these Team Conmarge stickers that I was gonna put on the BBX and make it like a tribute Buggy for Team Conmarge. They get the Grasshopper. That's the way that is. Yeah, another thing. I was about to say thanks for watching. Now the other thing with the Grasshopper is that the humble 380 motor. Yeah. I'm gonna sort of test out a little bit and play around with that stuff. So that was it. Thanks for watching.